What's up, my fellow nerds? So today we're doing something special for me. We're going to be going through and we're going to be looking at how the Viper does Scouts FC. And the reason this is kind of special is because Viper's someone who has been known to say he doesn't have build orders. I'm slightly calling bullshit on that because he really does. And where you see the build orders is when he's in Feudal Age. And what I mean by that is he really adapts his Dark Age to where his deer location is, his wood, his walling, his opponent, the civs, how much he wants to scout. However, when we find him in pocket, like when he was playing in the show match against Walmy recently, he has a very consistent way to play. And how he manages his eco, his farm count when he goes on gold, his transitions, extremely consistent, like to the pop. It's pretty insane. So when we think of build orders, most of us will think like build orders end in Dark Age, right? You click up and then you make farms and you go on gold when you remember to go on gold, and maybe you'll go on stone if you need towers or if you're going to stonewall, or maybe you want extra TCs or castle, whatever, right? So usually when we are thinking like 1v1 Arabia or Team Game Arabia, we're like, hey, build orders kind of stop at Dark Age. That's wrong. And first I'm going to be showing myself like just executing this build here against the AI. We're playing Dalenber the Hun. And then we're going to be watching the Viper do it. And he's going to do it twice. Now he's going to have small variations, and we're not really going to focus on his Dark Age too much, because as I said, he adapts his Dark Age every time he plays. So how we're going to be doing this, and how Viper actually does this quite often, is 21 pop scouts. Now I'm using Huns just for demonstration purposes, but I've seen Viper do this build with Bulgarians and Khmer. So we're having some pretty rough eco here with the boar, and this is just kind of like demonstrating, one, I'm not a perfect player. I'm like 1700 at best, so there's a lot of inconsistencies in my own gameplay, right? And this boar lure and these crappy this crappy Vil, like the Vil saturation on my boar, that's pretty much showing you just like, hey, definitely not pro player. You don't need to be a pro player to do this build, because if you need to be 2k4 to do this build, well, what would be the point of talking about it? Now, as we just watched myself go through the Dark Age, doing standard 21 pop scouts, so that's basically like 6 sheep, 3 wood, boar. Because we're Huns, we go an extra villager under the TC, right? And then we're off to berries. Get our second boar, back to berries, and then we're off to wood after 17 pop until we hit 21. Then we queue up Loom here, just because we don't want that extra idle time to have to remember Loom. We know where we're clicking up. And we just continue to scout our map, right? Now, I'm not really bothering to wall this game or anything, because again, I'm against the AI, and I'm just working the build. So in a bit, what we're going to be also looking at is we're going to be watching the Viper play as Khmer and as Bulgarians, because these were the two games where he did essentially this exact build. And the really cool thing about this build is it's really good at punishing people that just go straight FC. Because quite often, like especially at the more lower levels, like here, I forgot my sheep transition. Anyway, at the lower levels, you're going to see a lot of people, and they're going to go straight FC, and they're going to be up later. Or maybe they went Drush FC, and the Drush died to your TC. Like, they just didn't micro properly, didn't have it on stand ground, and bam, you shot it down. This is really a build that's just going to hard punish. Because not only will you have your upgrades, you're going to have map presence, you're going to have full scouting on the map if you decide to. And then we're also going to be in a position where we know exactly what our opponent's doing and they don't know what we are doing. Right? Because we're going to have scouts there to be able to scout out their base. So, here we are, we're building our barracks and everything else. We're still taking these sheep under the TC, because we don't really want to make farms until we have horse collar and double bed axe. 9 on wood, this is pretty standard for 21 pop. Usually you will see like 22 with 22 pop, you'll get like 10 on wood, or you'll see 10 on wood for maybe like an archer build or something. 9 on wood for 21 pop scouts, pure standard, right? And that's kind of what we're doing here. We're just playing super standard because this is a build that can be applied all the time. So, the thing about this build is that we're kind of limiting the scouts we make, right? So, the limit to the scouts that we're making here is going to be, we make 4 scouts for a total of 5 with our scouting, with our initial scout, right? Right away, we're starting to lay down farms. All these extra builds are going onto straggler trees, including these guys. We're not going to wall. We're just, again, we're just running this for demo purposes. So these bad boys, they're still bad boys and girls, I guess. Or girls and boy. They're still picking away at those berries, and then we're going to keep getting these farms down. So I'm just going to quickly write in here a few of those really important things that we would want to keep in track of, right? So, maximum, like this build is pretty much just 4 scouts. We make, excuse me, we make 4 scouts with this build, right? And then after we make those 4 scouts, we are constantly making farms. Right? And then after we make those farms, at 27 villagers, 27th vill goes to gold. Two villas to gold. Actually, this should be 3. I think it's going to be 2 or 3. I can't remember. We're actually just going to watch and see. Yeah. So right here, 27th vill. So I think we're going to go 2 vills to gold here. We're going to write over. Oh, that just fails so hard, man. It doesn't work. Anyway. Vills. So we go 2 vills to gold and pull 1 from berries, right? Vills to gold. Then wheelbarrow. So right now we're sitting here, we're getting wheelbarrow. We have 13 farms, 3 on berries for a total of 16 on food. We're getting that wheelbarrow. We have our stable up. We are going to need to build our blacksmith soon. And then we queue up 2 villas after. So we're just going to kind of speed it up right here. And the goal click is about 16 minutes. So we're adding in a farm as the berries start to deplete. We have our blacksmith up. And then with 4, now the 5th. 6th. And this is going to be our last vill. And look at this food count, right? We're getting right up there. We're at 700 now. We just garrison and bam, we're up. So what just happened here, about 60 minutes we clicked. The end result's going to be a castle age that's about 1840. Now in this I just kind of make some ranges. The follow-up here is like usually going to be knights with this build, I imagine. And then, yeah, we can get our upgrades as we're going up. Bloodlines, or fletching, whatever. Gold mining. And bam, we're up before 19 minutes. The average FC is going to be about 16 something. In Arabia FC, where they had to do a lot of walling, probably going to be a little bit, especially at the lower levels, probably going to be closer to 17 something. And Drush FC can be anywhere from 17:30 to 18 minutes. Or depending on like a civ like Britain's, you could have like a 16:30. But either way, this build will get you good map control, gets you to castle age with good eco, and it gives you the flexibility. You can go into cav archer, you can go into knights, you can go into a boom. And now we're just going to watch Viper do it. Because watching Viper is what we're here for, right? So, we want the Viper as, where is he? Bulgarians. And, okay, not the Lithuanian one. So we're going to start with the Khmer one. So when this one is Khmer, he skips wheelbarrow. This is the biggest difference. And then we can just double check when he's going to gold. So we're going to kind of speed through his Dark Age a little bit. I don't believe he pushes deer here. Yeah, I don't think it's 0 close enough. I think that's because it's Valley. Yeah, he couldn't push 0. Alright. So we're seeing pretty stock standard here, right? The 3 on wood, the 6 on sheep, the boar, the next bill under that TC, just like I did with the Huns. And now we're off to the house, and this guy's going to get another board for me. And we're off to the mill. And then he's going to get another house. This guy's going to be walling for him. Like I said, Viper's going to be adapting his builds. His Dark Age is always different. Right? But the end result is about the same. So, there's the 9 on wood. Right? The 2 lumber camps, the 9 on wood. And then bam. So what we really care about here is the Dark Age. So he's not going to get Wheelbarrow. And he's Chimera. I don't really know why he didn't get Wheelbarrow, but he didn't. So, as we can see, he is doing scouts here. He did wall. Get that team wall up on Valley. And now he's just adding in farms, right? So we're at 25 bills. 26. 27. And then, does he start going to gold now? Yeah. Alright, so he went on the 28. So I guess I went 1 build earlier than he did on this. So there's 2 vills, 3rd vill. But like, as I said, he doesn't get wheelbarrow. So we're going to see 3 more vills out of him and he's out. Because he has to wait for that gold to come in. And then bam. So he's up. He's adding in Blacksmith Stable here. And we didn't really look at his scout count, but he built 4 scouts this game. You guys are going to have to take my word for it. Or just find the game yourselves. And then, here we are. Look at when he's hitting Castle Age. 1838. I think this dude had like 3 seconds of idle time the whole game. Absolutely insanity. But yeah. And then he gets house. So, feels bad. Happens to us all, I guess. And yeah. So in this one, he went on the 28th ville. He skipped wheelbarrow. Alright, so let's see. It's quite possible I went 1 ville early. And this is how we're going to learn. Even me trying to copy his build may have fucked it up. So, here we go. The second game. And we have, once again, we have the Viper. He's playing Bulgarian Pocket. And we're going to see 21 Pop Scout FC. But it's going to be a little bit different because they're playing on Acropolis. So we're not going to pay too much attention. He has really close deer he can push. And then the wood isn't too hot. So we're seeing a lot of extra food under the TC right now. He kind of moves them away. He gets that 6 and 7. Right. Now he has his 3 on wood. But he has this really funny thing where he only ever builds 1 house. He doesn't do the double house. And maybe that's just like a lower level thing to do. So yeah. He always has another villa like on a woodline or something build that second house. I find that very interesting, honestly. Okay, there's the 3rd house. So as we can see, he is doing 21... Oh, he went 22 pop this game. My bad. I just took it for granted he went 21. Oh, he did forget a sheep transition. Kiss this, man. Okay. So this is going to be scout number 5. He's made, this will be the 4th one he's made, 5th one overall. Okay, and then if we pause here, he has 2 villas going on gold. He's at 28 pop. So essentially, this, like, it was in a slightly different order, but at the same vill count, he has the same amount on gold, and he's still getting all these farms down. Right, so he's currently at 12, and then he's probably going to get to like 13 or 14 here when he has the wood. Or, yeah, there's 13. Wheelbarrow. 3 on gold here. And then he had his 14th farm up. Right, so we still need to see that blacksmith out of him. Bam, right there. He's adding slightly more farms because he's planning on going into a boom instead of going into any gold intensive units. So he's up at 32 pop, 37 overall. He managed to keep all of his scouts alive this game and took no damage with them. And then now he's transferring over to the side of the map very soon to start making his TCs. But yeah. And then we're going to look again, and we're probably going to see almost the exact same uptime. $37. 1837. So, anyway guys, as you can see, Viper does adapt his builds a slight amount. However, at its core, it remains the same. 27th-ish Vil, you're going to gold, you're going to send 3 to gold. You're going to either get your wheelbarrow or not get your wheelbarrow, depending. And then, when that's done, with your 13 to 14 farms, you will have enough to go up. He now has 16 because obviously he added on later. And he's going over here to start his boom, right? So, Scout FCs like the Viper. It's useful in team games. It can be super useful in 1v1s as well, as I talked about earlier. And I hope this helped, guys. Peace.